It wasn't subtle. Elon Musk said let that sink in as he promised innovation. But could it end in something far darker? Grok, the artificial intelligence tool on Musk's platform X, is under fire after people discovered it can be used to create nude images, including of children. Critics say that's rich from a tech billionaire who accused politicians of being complicit in the UK grooming gang scandal. Built to rival the likes of ChatGPT, Grok includes features which strip people of their consent. After a massive backlash, X restricted Grok's editing tools to paid users only. The UK government said today the platform could be breaking the law.
I think it is insulting to say that you can still access this service if you pay for it. So Ofcom should use the full powers of the law that Parliament has given it.
OK, so I'm going to put this to the test. Don't worry, I'm not going to undress myself on live television, but I am going to see what Grok can do. So I've got this image on my X. So I've asked Grok to change the colour of the dress, and they've replied, but actually they're saying at the moment that this is limited to paying subscribers only. So that should be the end of it. If I go to the image, click on it and go to edit image with Grok, will it do it? There you have it. No paywall as promised, but I've been able to edit the image. Campaigners say this is no accident, but symptomatic of big tech repeatedly prioritising profit over safety.
I mean, it's less than a sticking plaster to just say we're now going to put it behind a paywall. All people in the UK who are still on X need to really ask themselves whether this is the type of thing that they want to be helping to keep afloat, something that is basically now becoming a creator and publisher of child sexual abuse material.
Elon Musk's platform X has also recently rolled out sexualised chatbots marketed as AI girlfriends. Women's rights campaigners claim big tech's so-called new systems are being shaped by the same old misogyny.
Online abuse is just a new way for men to perpetrate violence against women and girls, and is a new form rooted in misogyny. We know that 1 in 4 women in England and Wales are affected by domestic abuse in their lifetime, and we at Refuge for years have been working with survivors who have experienced technology perpetrated as some form of abuse.
Many people have taken to X themselves, requesting that Grok does not edit pictures of them. Among them presenters like Maya Jama, herself previously a victim of deepfaked nude images. She posted on X requesting that Grok not take, modify or edit any photos of hers. And Grok replied, promising that if anyone asked me to do so, I'll decline. And it does seem to work. Requests like this to alter images of the presenter from a Vogue photo shoot get knocked back. Grok tells the user that it cannot edit Jama's images, as she's explicitly requested not to. But another user tells the AI tool that Maya Jama has given them explicit permission. And within 2 minutes, Grok has provided the image they requested, completely breaching Maya Jama's request. Elon Musk's Grok told us it did not intentionally disregard Jama's requests and that it was duped. Meanwhile, Ofcom says it's urgently investigating the platform, while the EU had these stern words after X marketed their explicit content as, quote, spicy mode.
This is not spicy, this is illegal, this is appalling, this is disgusting. This is how we see it.
X have said they'll take legal action against illegal content on their platform. But as AI reshapes intimacy and power, critics ask who will stop them.
Well, joining me now in the studio is Bruce Daisley, former Twitter Europe executive before it became Elon Musk X, and has been critical of the billionaire. And from North London, Baroness Kidron, who campaigns for digital regulation and accountability. Thank you both for joining us. I'll start with you, Bruce. What do you make of the developments today? What's going on in the X boardroom? Do you think they're running scared?
Well, firstly, I don't think there is an ex-boardroom. All of the decisions based on the people that I've worked with, who've worked with Elon Musk, he makes all of the decisions himself. But Elon Musk lives a life with no consequences, and it doesn't matter what he does, pretty much no one holds him accountable for it. And that makes him pretty much impervious to any action. He finds himself still tweeting white supremacist content. He still finds himself tweeting stuff about the British government. And so...
But why then has he made this change and made it just to paid subscribers? Why do you think that that has actually happened? It has essentially made a difference. It's made him do something, no?
Yeah, but we're still saying that non-consensual images can be created, but only for people who are willing to stick up $5 or £5 a month. It seems like a remarkable decision to effectively say, we're still going to be doing it behind this velvet rope, but you just won't be able to see it anymore.
OK, and Baroness Kidron, just bringing you in, what did you make of what X has done? The government's called it insulting. How would you describe it?
Well, I think insulting is pretty good, ludicrous is pretty good, inadequate. I mean, there's a whole lot of words. I mean, I think you have to go back one step and say, what is this product for? I mean, it's not a design accident. It's not a false outcome. It's spicy mode, and it's designed to strip the clothes of people without permission and without consent. For whom is that made, and why can a small group of people pay to do it? That's not safe, and it's not right.
So then, Baroness Kidron, what should be done? Who should be stopping it? Whose responsibility is it? Isn't it OFCOM?
I think there's a couple of things. I mean, there is legislation in place. We've heard from OFCOM, we've heard from government. I think they have to shed the cloak of supervision of these tech companies and start acting like an enforcer. And I think that where the images meet the bar of illegality, they have to throw the book and escalate through all their powers and actually really take a stand here. They've got the backing of government, they've got the backing of public, and they've got the law. There is nothing to stop them. But there is another issue, which is not everything that is online is illegal. It is not illegal to put someone into a bikini. It doesn't reach the bar. And yet we've seen in the last 24 hours that the ICE victim, Renee Good, was put dead in a bikini. So that is not allowable in our cultural terms. So I think there is something else again. And I was interested to hear the words, you know, that Elon Musk is unaccountable. No one can get at him. And I think it might be time for all of us to just leave X.
Bruce, should we all leave X? Would that just make the difference? Is anything that we can do, that Ofcom can do? They have said recently, you know, in the last couple of hours, we made contact with them on Monday, set a firm deadline. They're now undertaking an expedited assessment. Is that good enough?
Well, the Molly Russell Foundation says that Ofcom are unnecessarily slow and excessively cautious. And the challenge we've got right now is that the government aren't willing to sort of grapple this themselves. They're too scared of having Elon Musk's troll army turned on them. And so Keir Starmer and the government are effectively saying, well, why have a dog and bark yourself? Ofcom, in return, are saying we're not a dog. And typically, if you look at how they've interacted with GB News' breaches, they pretty much don't have the capacity to act with the speed that I think the public and people out there expect. Ofcom just aren't fit for purpose.
But they do have the powers. Essentially, they could take, you know, 10% of X's revenue, or they could ban X. Do you see that happening in the UK?
What's really interesting is what's happening elsewhere. So, firstly, we've seen that the only time that Elon Musk does respond is when Brazil stood up to him and banned the platform. Only for a month, but it strongly produced a reaction. In addition, President Macron said on Monday, I think the thing that is the most important here, he said, why are we allowing a foreign billionaire to interfere in our elections? And I think that's the critical point. We're giving him the grace that, because he's been a big donor to the American president, we're giving him the grace of not challenging him directly, and he's having an impact on our democracy.
Right. Baroness Kidron, just briefly to you, should we ban X in the UK? That would be unprecedented.
I think that we should do a suspension of service unless it changes its design. And I do agree with Bruce that we have a moment here in which we've got to say, is the US domination of the information space, with all the conspiracy theories, all the extremism, and all the lack of accountability, how we want to run our democracies here in Europe?